and welcome to iasorigin. So today we'll be talking about the Green Revolution. Revolution किसी भी type का हो, be it industrial revolution, be it green revolution, be it milk revolution, be it pink revolution. It changes the whole scenario, it changes the whole picture. From a deficient to a sufficient, from failure to success, it changes the whole picture. And same is the case with Green Revolution. We can see recently in news that Mr. M.S. Swaminathan, हमारे इंडिया में ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन के आर्किटेक्चर, who is known as the father of green revolution, जिन्होंने इंडिया के एग्रीकल्चर को totally turn कर दिया था, he passed away recently this week. So he was cremated with state honors in Chennai. So today, as a tribute to him, let's talk about what was Green Revolution in detail. Before starting on to our topic, I would like to tell you that you can enroll with iasorigin for prelims cum mains program, where you'll get live classes, one-to-one mentorship session, unlimited recorded access which can be accessed anytime, and the personalized strategy plan based on your needs. So let's talk in detail about the history of Green Revolution. बात की जाए history की, the history dates back from the colonial era because of the colonial policy, exploitative agriculture practices that the British rule imposed onto us. Commercial cropping को इतनी importance दी जाती थी that food crops were hardly given any importance, and as a result emerged out number of famines and the crisis where lakhs of people died, and the worst crisis occurred in 1943. 1943 में crisis आई थी in Bengal. That was known as a Bengal famine. Bengal famine led to killing around 40 lakh people. Can you imagine? 40 lakh people सिर्फ एक particular state या particular area में died किए थे. Eastern India, that was gripped under the food crisis where people were starving out of death. That was the reason that even after independence, we were gripped into so many crises. And then in 1947, we gained independence. From 1947 to 1967, Indian government focused on expanding farming. They expanded the area under cultivation. But here there was one of the problems. They expanded the area under cultivation, but cultivation की productivity कैसे expand की जाए, इस पे ध्यान ही नहीं दिया गया. No new techniques were undertaken, no farming approaches were undertaken, no scientific methods were involved, and as a result, area तो cultivation के अंदर ज़्यादा आ गया, but productivity remained the same, and it could not cater to the needs of the rising population, and the population growth surpassed the food growth. Food जितना available था उससे कहीं ज़्यादा हमारी population थी. As a result, we had to depend on other countries for the food grain imports. And this was one of the major setbacks that Indian economy बार-बार deficit face कर रही थी, and our currency devalued, and we had to suffer major crisis. Our 5-year plans failed, and we had to go on a planned holiday because हमारा agriculture सही नहीं हो पा रहा था, because हमारा agriculture stagnant था. We could not feed our own population, and हमारे industrial models भी fail हो रहे थे. Then came a bright idea of Green Revolution by none other than Mr. M.S. Swaminathan. And in the year of 1966 to 1977, 10 years, Green Revolution showcased its positive impacts and changed the picture of India's agricultural system. When we talked about how this Green Revolution was funded, it was funded by various organizations like US government, Ford Foundation, and the Rockefeller Foundation. They funded the Green Revolution, which helped us to implement it in a better way and fulfill our needs. When we talk about what was the extent of Green Revolution was basically confined to around these northwestern states of Punjab, Chandigarh, Haryana, Delhi, and Western Uttar Pradesh. In states में Green Revolution का main focus था, and these states emerged out as a victory in the Green Revolution, where their production increased to a greatest amount. Now, when we talk about what were the elements of Green Revolution, it was based on modern technology like drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, जहाँ पे water का efficient use होता था, based on advanced agriculture practices, plus the use of tractors and all the heavy machineries for carrying out activities on the farm. Similarly was the case with the fertilizers. Fertilizers were given, which were in good number containing NPK, the key elements of soil for the growth of plants, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These three elements form the key of the fertilizers in the Green Revolution, along with urea. Then came the pesticides. Often when a production were going on good, pesticides attacked them and the whole grains were destroyed. So pesticides were also invented. which focused on killing these weeds and pests to protect our agriculture and increase the productivity. Then came the HYV seed. These HYV seeds were the high yielding variety seeds. These were the seeds which have the yielding capacity high. प्लांट के ग्रो होने के बाद उसमें चेंजेस लाने से बेटर है कि प्लांट्स की स्टार्टिंग ही अच्छी हो. सो वी फोकस्ड ऑन क्रिएटिंग सीड्स which were of greater quality. When we talk about what are the goals of Green Revolution, we talk about the short-term goals. Short-term goals was definitely solving the food crisis of India and protecting a starving population. But it had many long-term goals. And the long-term goals were like agriculture modernization, which focused on heavy machinery, use of tractors, machines, and all these modernized techniques which lead to the increase in productivity. Then was a rural development. Since we talk about agriculture, major chunk of the population working in the agriculture, there is none other than rural population. भले ही एग्रीकल्चर का जीडीपी ग्रोथ डिक्लाइन हो गया हो, बट आज के टाइम पे भी एग्रीकल्चर अकाउंट्स फॉर अराउंड 56% ऑफ द पीपल एंगेज्ड इन एग्रीकल्चर. इतना मेजर चंक पॉपुलेशन का एग्रीकल्चर में एंगेज रहता है. सो डेफिनेटली व्हेन एग्रीकल्चर विल थ्राइव, द फार्मर्स विल थ्राइव, एंड द फार्मर्स विल थ्राइव, जीडीपी बढ़ेगी एंड हमारी इनकम बढ़ेगी, उस पर्टिकुलर एरिया का डेवलपमेंट बढ़ेगा. देयरफॉर रूरल डेवलपमेंट वाज आल्सो वन ऑफ द की फोकस ऑफ ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन. Then comes the industrial revolution, where as I said that we were focusing on industrial modernization, where various kind of machineries were being produced for those machines, for those vehicles, for those tractors, irrigation facilities, pump facilities, industries had to develop these. Industries जो इनको develop कर रही थी, वहाँ पे भी employment opportunities generate की, and ऐसी कई industries बहुत सारी उस particular time में grow की. So this was also focused on industrial development. Then we'll say infrastructure. Definitely, when you have to transport one thing to another place, किसी भी जगह पे transportation करना of all these machineries and everything, of all the grains that were produced, major infrastructures were developed, and that infrastructure not only helped in green revolution but also proved to be an added advantage for the future endeavors, because that same infrastructure was used for other purposes as well. And in building that infrastructure, our population was engaged. उस particular time पे भी employment मिला, and in the long run also they got an employment as easy transportation and movement of people became possible. And then is the employment, because the agriculture productivity increased, expansion of farmland increased, majority of the population came into the agriculture mainstream where they were working. And the marginal productivity also increased as the output was increasing on a tremendous scale. And boom to the scientific study. As we said, HYV seed. How come these HYV seed fertilizers and pesticides were building? Many research were done for the same purpose. And as a result, scientific study got a boom in India because of this green revolution. Therefore, we can see not only just the agriculture sector, but industrial as well as scientific sectors and infrastructure also got a boom. The long-term impact of green revolution touched every sector over there. Now, when we talk about the techniques used, techniques were like expanding farm area, where more and more agricultural land was being bought, because one of the major problems when India got independence was that the land holdings were fragmented. बहुत ही छोटे size की land holdings थी, and the smaller the size, the more difficult is it to employ machinery over there, and as a result the productivity is also low. So here it was focused on expanding farmland under cultivation so that easy machinery and increased productivity could be followed. Then was double cropping system. Now in double cropping system, Green Revolution focused on cropping 2 crops in a year. One crop was grown in the monsoon times and another in after monsoon. So this monsoon period crop was irrigated by the rains. So 2 cropping pattern, one during the monsoon and one after the monsoon. Monsoon crop was being fed by the rains and another was being fed by the irrigation facilities. As a result, there was around whole year productivity. पूरे साल तक one or the other crop was in production, so that we do not face any shortage because of the seasonal changes. So this was the double cropping system. And then is the irrigation project, where we focused on sprinkle irrigation and the drip irrigation to increase the water efficiency. कम वाटर में ज़्यादा irrigation कर सकें efficiently, and also many canals and irrigation projects were being brought about so as to solve the problem of erratic monsoon. Since India being a monsoon dependent country and monsoon being highly irregular, the cropping pattern again and again failed and succeeded. So to solve this problem, the canal system and the irrigation system were developed at a large scale. And also the seeds with improved genetics were being built. As I said, scientific studies got a boom. Seeds were being highly studied under the expertise, and a high genetic makeup seeds were involved, which were resistant to pests and the climatic changes. High genetic seeds were developed, mainly of wheat, rice, bajra, and maize. So these techniques majorly helped in increasing India's production. Now, when we talk about the positives of Green Revolution, as I said, it increased the yield. The increase in yield was such tremendous that 131 million tons of production was done in 10 years. 131 करोड़ का production हुआ था. That from a food deficient country we became a food surplus country. जहाँ पे starvation के कारण लोग मर रहे थे पहले, वहाँ पे इतना surplus आ गया था that we did not need to import any of the food products from other countries, and we were self-sufficient in our own economy. So we reduced the food imports. This also had another benefit. Because of the food import only in the earlier years of independence, we were facing current account deficit, where our country suffered a lot, and as a result, our currency also devaluated. हमारी economy में deficit पे deficit हो रही थी. But now, because of the reduced import, हमारा deficit भी कम हो गया था, and our forex could be used for other purposes. So this was also another benefit of import reduction. And production was such high that import reduction के साथ साथ हम कुछ countries को export भी करने लगे थे. And then another is per capita availability of food increased. Per capita means per person जो food available रहता है, that also increased. That increased the nutritional health of the people. As a result, the human labor also improved. And what about the change in the further productivity in all sectors? Increased farmer income and the capital farming. As the farmers' income increased because of the enhanced productivity, they invested in capital farming, where the farming was not labor intensive but capital intensive, जहाँ पे major chunk of production करा जा रहा था machinery की use से, and when machinery is used, definitely the production will also be increased. So here capital farming got a boom. Then came the industrial growth. As I said, because of the production of tractors and heavy machinery, industries got a boom, and therefore the growth over there, and the employment growth both in industry as well as in agriculture. But certainly, there are some of the negatives also associated with Green Revolution, and these negatives are impact on non-food grains and commercial crops. Now, all the focus of the Green Revolution was just on wheat, rice, maize, bajra kind of crops, food crops. But what about the other non-food crops? What about the cereals and oil seeds and the commercial crops like jute, tea, sugarcane? They were not covered under Green Revolution. So Green Revolution definitely benefited one basket of food items, but other whole basket was left like that, and it did not brought any positives to those crops over there. And it did not brought any positives to the crops over there. As a result, the development was lopsided. And when we talk about HYVC, they had limited coverage. Limited coverage in the sense कुछ ही particular crops के लिए थी. As I mentioned earlier, 5 crops के लिए थी, wheat, rice वगैरह. इसके अलावा किसी भी crop की HYV seeds develop ही नहीं की गई हैं. So Green Revolution का limited impact भी था along with the lopsided impact. Then is the regional disparities. As we can see, Green Revolution was focused on the northwestern states. Northwestern states of Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, Chandigarh. इन्हीं जगहों पे focused था. These areas were already doing better in agriculture. When we compare, ये already agriculture में better prosper कर रहे थे. So Green Revolution benefited only these areas, and some areas of southern states like Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh were also benefited. But a major chunk of the Indian states could not get a benefit of Green Revolution. When we talk about Odisha, Bengal, Gujarat area, Rajasthan area, semi-arid area जो हो गए, वहाँ पे ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन के कोई भी बेनिफिट्स नहीं पहुंचे. सो द ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग रीजनल डिस्पैरिटीज गॉट वाइडेंड अप, and the agriculture in these areas suffered a lot. The excessive use of chemicals. Now the element of Green Revolution was fertilizers and pesticides. But major chunk of the population that is employed in agriculture is uneducated. They do not know what the correct ratio is of employing these fertilizers or chemical. As a result, जब fertilizer pesticides were used in huge number, जितनी quantity जरूरी नहीं थी उससे कहीं ज़्यादा quantity spray कर दी जाती थी. Particular fertilizers and pesticides are for particular crops only, but वो सब पे use कर दिए जाते थे. As a result, the chemical composition of the soil and the plant health got disturbed, and this led to the excessive use of chemicals, which also deteriorated the quality of our food. Chemical grown food हम लोगों को ज़्यादा मिलने लगा था as compared to the natural and organic food over there. Also led to the soil degradation. As I said, unscientific use of fertilizers and pesticides, soil quality deteriorate होने लगी थी. Also, the double cropping system which was being used, soil lost its nutritional deficiency. It did not got time to recover. It did not got time to replenish. As a result, the soil degraded. And these were some of the negative impacts of green revolution. Nonetheless, we can say everything has two sides, the positives and the negatives. Same is the case with green revolution. We have positives that it made India into a food surplus country. जिस time पे हम एकदम ही सफर कर रहे थे, उस time पे it proved to be an advantageous and save our economy and our people. But it lead to the regional disparities. So we cannot say that green revolution was a failure. But it was definitely a huge success, but the results were centered around only a few states. Therefore, we can think in detail upon these such models and implement it whole of India holistically to bring about a unified development benefiting all the states and all the stakeholders. That was all about Green Revolution. Hope you liked the video. Do like and comment, and for more such videos, subscribe to our channel IAS Origin. Thank you.